Organization Day this December, I will be running for Speaker of the House. I'm not necessarily running to be the Democratic Speaker of the House. I'm running to be Speaker, and I am a Democrat. We know in New Hampshire we've got a lot of issues facing this state, and to paraphrase the late President Kennedy, the issues we are facing are not Democratic issues, they're not Republican issues, they're New Hampshire's issues, and it's going to take all of us, Democrats and Republicans, members of both the House and the Senate, to work together to resolve them. And some of the issues that I'm talking about, last year we know 431 of our fellow citizens died from drug overdoses. That number would have been a lot higher if not for our very dedicated first responders and the availability of Narcan. We know those who are addicted to drugs are victims, but there are also other victims of this drug epidemic. We know the families who have loved ones and children addicted to drugs, the pain and suffering they're going through, and our hearts go out to them. We know those that have had their cars broken into, their homes, their garages, and they've lost personal property. To those who are subsidizing their addiction through criminality, they too are victims. And the one concern that is the greatest even to myself, we worry about the children of those addicted. We worry about their safety and their well-being, and we will do everything we can in the upcoming session to make sure those children are protected and well taken care of. Some of the other issues that are concerned to me is the working men and women of the Granite State. It's time we pass legislation to give everybody an appropriate minimum wage. New Hampshire, it's the first minimum wage passed in this country before any other state or the U.S. Congress was here under Republican Governor John Wynan. We know too that we've got to make childcare more affordable to all the working people in our state. And we've got to do something to come up with a family leave plan. It should not, a parent should not have to decide if they need to go to the job that they need for their family or to stay home and take care of an ill child that they love. They should not have those kind of choices. We know that our infrastructure is crumbling and far too many bridges are redlined. We know that this is an inconvenience to motorists, but more importantly, it has a detrimental effect on the safety of every community. And it's also negatively impacting our state's business. I was so disappointed when the New Hampshire House took out the $4 million for rail, the federal grant from USDOT, to study the viability of enhancing rail traffic in New Hampshire. We know that they're currently widening I-93 from Salem to Manchester, but once that widening is completed, I-93 cannot be widened again because of the environmental impact. It's time for the House and the Senate to be proactive instead of reactive and look at the future needs of transportation in this state. And lastly, education. We know that New Hampshire is one of the lowest states in the amount of money we give to post-secondary public education, that our tuition rates for in-state New Hampshire students at our community colleges and in the university system is some of the highest in the country. I have had parents tell me that it's far cheaper for their children to go out of state to a public college as an out-of-state student paying less tuition than it is going to go through our university and community colleges as an in-state student. That has got to stop. We've got over 50% of our students leaving to go to other colleges in other states, and sadly, most of them don't come back. We are losing the future generations of New Hampshire citizens. You know, somebody once said that God must love New Hampshire because He made our state so beautiful. And our state is beautiful, and it's there for everybody to see, from the White Mountains to the Atlantic Ocean to our rivers and streams and our ponds and our lakes. But that's not the true beauty of New Hampshire. That's not the beauty that makes New Hampshire such a wonderful place to live, to work, and to raise a family. The real beauty of the Granite State is the people. It's who we are. It's our tradition of working together to solve problems. And that is something that we've got to remember as we begin the next session of the biennium. It's going to take all of us putting aside partisanship and working in the best interest of the people of New Hampshire. I want to thank you all for being here. If anyone has any questions, I'll try to answer them. If not, I know a lot of you have got committee assignments and Senate bill hearings, and I do want to thank you all for being here. Thank you, and God bless New Hampshire.